Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. I'm just sitting there thinking about this Susan and Marlena scene, and I'm just like, did I really just saw what I thought I like? Did I see like what did I just watch? What did I just watch? Watching this, I'm like, did I saw what I thought I saw? I know that doesn't make any sense, but I'm just trying to wrap my head around the concept of what just happened. So Susan confronts Marlena and it's like, yo, listen, I'm not talking to Marlena. I know exactly who I'm talking to. You're not Marlena. You are definitely not Marlena. Um, so Susan already knows what's going on. She already senses the evil that's coming from Marlena. So she calls her out. And at first, Marlena's like, oh, what are you talking about? Like, you sound all crazy. You sound ridiculous. Like, you think you're not talking to Marlena? Why would you think you're not talking to me for it? But eh, after a while, he's just like, all right. And turns around and gives those creepy eyes. I guess it was one of those things where it's like, all right, I'm not even gonna bother to sit there and try to play this game. Um, Turns around, it's like, yep, you're right. And you're not the first person that's tried to come in with your petty little powers. They talk about Celeste and long story short, there's one point where Susan brings out this cross because she was like, "You're talking about vampires and stuff like that. This cross is really work on vampires." Anyway, she brings out this cross and she's all like, "As long as I have this cross, you're not gonna sit there and be able to do anything to me." And you sit there and just looks at her like, "God, you're dumb," and then takes the cross and bop right, right over the head, right over the head, and she's just unconscious. I'm not gonna lie, I rewound that like a couple of times because that was funny. Um, so Susan's knocked out. Paulina comes to the door. She starts knocking on the door. Now, she's talking to Abe earlier. She's all like, I think we should propose. I think we should wait, till you're feeling better. And Abe takes it as like, you don't want to marry me. But, it's really just more guilt than anything else. So she assures him that she wants to marry him, and as she leaves, she sees Theo talking to Lonnie, and she realizes that, if the secret comes out, one second, this secret comes out, is going to devastate Lonnie. That bond that she has with who she thinks is her brother is going to be gone. So she talks to Marlena because Marlena was like, I'm not going to be able to do anything. I'm not going to officiate until you tell the truth. But she gets over there, she knocks on the door, and I'm sitting there thinking, when she knocks on the door, don't you want to just take Susan's body and just like put it somewhere, not just in the living room? I mean, I get that Susan was unconscious, but like at some point, Pauline may want to stretch her legs and stand up for a little bit. And she's not like a short woman, so I'm sooner or later she's gonna see Susan's body on the ground. But she gets in there and she's all like, I can't do it. I can't tell the truth. It's just not gonna happen. Like I can't sit there and ruin their lives and stuff like that. And she overhears Susan, being all groggy, whatever, like she's about to wake up. So she's like, "What? What is that? What's going on? What's up with that? Like, what's that?" And Marlene is like, "What's what? You hear anything? You good?" And so it keeps going on and on and on. Long story short, when Paulina goes around the couch to see what's going on, um, he turns her into a damn cat. Okay, he turns her into a black cat. I'm looking at this like, Okay. Um. So that's the thing now. Just turn things into, just turn people into cats and dogs, and just like what? What am I watching at this point? Um. So turn Susan into a cat, black cat. Um. And Pauline's like, is that cat okay? Because it's making a bunch of weird sounds, and the teeth and everything like that. Like, what's going on with that cat? And Marlena's like, well, this cat has had a lot of health problems, a lot of mental health, a lot of problems. But I'm afraid that we're gonna have to actually put her down. So Paulina leaves, and Paulina's like, yo, listen, I can't do it. And Marlena still offers to officiate the wedding. Or Dev Marlena, whatever you want to sit there and call, you know, that whole situation. So Paulina leaves, and Marlena's like, all right, well, I can change you back, but it's a lot more fun keeping you this way. It's a lot more manageable keeping her this way. Um, but as she's about to step out the house, Sean and Bella get over there. Now Sean and Bella are getting all super defensive because they get over Sierra's place. Which, by the way, when they knocked on the door, Sierra started whining like who's this? What's going on? And it's just like the whining was like, I was like, I definitely didn't miss that. Um, but they get to the door, they congratulate them and everything like that, and that's when because Sierra seems like she's still a little shaken up, and she tells them about Sierra about Susan's premonition about there's something evil that's trying to attack our baby, coming after our baby or whatever. Um, And then Bella gets all super defensive, like, well, how could she do that? And blah, blah, blah. And she shouldn't be doing that. She shouldn't be trying to scare you. And Bella's like, yo, listen, a lot of her premonitions generally tend to come true. We wouldn't be sitting there standing with Sierra if it wasn't for Susan. Just saying. But, there was one point where even, because, let's be honest, Sierra didn't want to sit there and believe the premonition. She was all like, oh, do you think that she got a writer's curse? Do you think that she's wrong? I was like, sweetheart, you're literally living proof that she is right. But anyway, Bella is all super defensive, and after they toast and they leave, they go to Marlena's, to be honest, to confront Susan. When they get there, they see Marlena holding a black cat. And then, Marlena's all like, oh yeah, I found this cat in the hallway. Um, didn't their house blow up the last time? Or was it recently? I don't know if I was watching it by myself, I was watching it with my friend, but there was one point where there was I was watching it by myself. How many times did that place blow up? Anyway, Marlena was like, well, I found this cat walking around or whatever, and she's pretty much just trying to rush out the door and just kind of get rid of him. And there's one point where Bella's like, well, maybe the owner, because she's like, well, I'm gonna have to sit there and take it to the shelter or whatever. And Bella's like, well, maybe, you should keep it a couple of days or whatever because, a lot of times these owners can't find their pets, and they're kind of worried and freaked out or whatever. And Marlena's like, yeah, well, still gotta go. Bye. Lock the door behind me. And both Sean and Bella's like, the hell was that about? I mean, the way that, Marlena was just so callous, like, yeah, I know there's a good chance that they may put down this cat, and the owner may be sitting there trying to look for this cat, but yeah, it sounds like not my problem, so I'm about to go and do that. That's literally what she does, and from a person who's supposed to be so thoughtful and caring and kind and sweet and just a paragon of, all those things. The fact that she was just so ready to just dump the cat off into the shelter so they can do things that I am so not happy about. I'm an animal person, so it really struck him odd. Like, what is going on? Now there is a point where Theo is there talking to Lonnie about, the fact that Paulina asked her to be, the matron of honor or whatever. Like, it was just kind of weird. Like, why wouldn't she ask her daughter? So she wanted to make sure that she was still cool with Chanel, and Theo was like, let's not talk to her. Now, long story short, um, Chanel does come to see Lonnie, and it's like, listen, it's cool, whatever, like, we're good. I thought it was kind of odd and whatever, but as far as me and you are concerned, like, we're good. I don't think that she's fully over the fact that, like, she couldn't be her matron of honor. Now, there's one point where they're talking about the events that happened, like, I don't know exactly the full story, but it seemed like Paulina was leaving out some stuff, like as far as what Paulina told Chanel, as of what Paulina told Lonnie. Let me. It seemed like there was some differences in her story between what Chanel told and what Lonnie told Chanel, as opposed to what Paulina told Chanel. So it's something like that. It's not sitting right with her, and so they're like, listen, we're cool. We're gonna be sisters soon, and that's gonna be amazing and great or whatever. Now, I think Lonnie leaves. Oh, Lonnie goes to go get her the cookies to the night nurse, and Paulina comes back from seeing Marlena, and she walks up to Chanel and she says something, and then Chanel's like, "Nah, I'm good," and she just walks off in this huff of anger, you know. So I'm like, Paulina, your lies are starting to catch up to you again, and I'm gonna be honest. This lie is even worse than the last lie because, granted, the last lie sucked. It was a business decision. It wasn't personal. It was stupid the way she handled it, but you know, this thing, the secret or whatever that she's been keeping, is about to be all blown up. I mean, Olivia, as much as they did not like that character, was like, listen, you weren't supposed to be here that long. Okay? Come in, see her for a little bit, and leave. You're messing everything up. This is the reason why Olivia not only did not want Paulina to marry Abe, but really didn't want her staying that long. Like, get your ass back to Miami. Because her lies is going to catch up, and it's going to hurt a lot of people. Now Theo, when she was talking to Chanel, one of the things, because Chanel's there running lines to Johnny, and Theo was like, just let you know, the woman that you're playing, she has an accent. But they're talking, they're catching up or whatever, and this is when Theo's like, listen, I think you need to talk to Lana because she wants to make sure that y'all good because she still feels guilty about the whole, you not being matron of honor. So she leaves to go to the hospital. Now, Theo's there talking to Johnny about the movie and everything like that, and they run into Ben and Ciara, and oh my goodness, was that just so awkward. And honestly, to tell you the truth, for a good couple of seconds, I felt bad for him. For a good couple of seconds. And then I remember what he did and just kind of how much of a scumbag he was for the way he did it. So it was just like, you know what, now, I don't feel bad for you, but this is still awkward as hell. So you see, they run into each other. And, Ciara's like, oh, I'm surprised you're back in town. And Theo was like, yeah, my dad got shot, so this is why I'm here. He was like, yeah, he's doing a lot better and stuff like that. They're actually about to sit there and get married. And then Theo says some sort of offhand comment about, well, hopefully his bride doesn't get, kidnapped by someone or whatever. And Johnny overhears that. And Johnny, and I mean, bless his heart, he tries to, I guess, lighten up the scene or say something. It's like, oh, the tarot cards or whatever. Because, Johnny was thinking they're trying to make sure that Chanel knows how to read the tarot cards, making sure that she is fully into the character. Because her character needs to convince the audience that what she's saying, that, Marlena's really possessed, like, to really be convincing. So he's all like, oh, these tarot cards or whatever, just to kind of like break up the awkwardness. Um, and then Sierra's like, yeah, we should go. We just came to get this book, and now we're about to go back. So bye. But she drops the book, and Theo picks it up, and Theo's like, you're pregnant? And so now it's about to get a whole lot more awkward. And here's the thing. I feel like a dick for sitting there saying that I don't feel bad for Theo. Because let's be honest, if this was any other situation and he didn't do what he did, I would fully feel bad for him. I mean, not only does he not get the girl, and the girl winds up going back out with somebody else. And he, once again, gets his heart broken. Now he finds out that this girl that he was in love with is pregnant. Oh my goodness. Wow. I can just even fractionally imagine that, and that just hurt me. But he did what he did, so I can't feel bad for him. I just can't do it. Can't do it. But I want to, but I can't do it. No. I gotta sit there and say I enjoyed this episode. I did. I think these episodes are definitely getting more interesting. Um, it's weird because I enjoyed this episode more than I enjoyed the episode of GH today. And I was sitting there telling, my reviewers, like, yo, listen, if people don't want to watch GH because certain characters are leaving and other characters are rumored to leave, then watch Days. I mean, if you can get past the possession story, or even wait to after, watch Days. Hell, it's even getting so good that Forget Minute, Andre Epps. He's another guy that does these soap opera, that does these Days of Our Lives reviews. Normally he does weekly reviews, and I've been seeing him just put them out daily. I'm like, wow, okay. I think that's about it for the most part. If I forgot anything, please, if I forgot anything, please write it down in the comment section below. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe. See you in the next video.